Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Nandarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9. Prahlad pacifies Lord Nrsingadev with his prayers. So we read till text number 32 yesterday, and we were discussing about the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord, that how his sleeping is not like our sleeping, how he is present everywhere. That does not mean that he has lost his individuality, or he is everything. Yes, he is everything, but he's still separate. So that's the transcendental nature of the Lord. So let's read the next verse, text number 33. Tasyaiva te vapur idam nijakala shaktya sanchodhita prakriti dharmana atmagudam ambhasi ananta shayanada viramat samadhir nabhir ahutsva kanika vattavan mahabjam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This cosmic manifestation, the material world, is also your body. This total lump of matter is irritated by your potent energy known as Kala Shakti, and thus the three modes of material nature are manifested. You awakened from the bed of Shesha, Ananta, and from your navel a small transcendental seed is generated. It is from this seed that the lotus flower of the gigantic universe is manifested, exactly as a banyan tree grows from a small seed. Purport: the three different forms of Mahavishnu, namely Karunadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu, who are the origin of creation and maintenance, are gradually being described. From Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu is generated, and from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu is gradually expands. Thus, Mahavishnu is the original cause of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and from Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes the lotus flower from which Lord Brahma is manifested. Thus, the original cause of everything is Vishnu, and consequently, the cosmic manifestation is not different from Vishnu. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, where Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartite. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Garbhodakshay Vishnu is an expansion of Karunadakshay Vishnu, who is an expansion of Sankarshana. In this way, Krishna is the ultimate is ultimately the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. The conclusion is that both the material world and the spiritual world are considered to be the body of the Supreme Lord. We can understand that the material body is caused by the spiritual body and is therefore an expansion of the spiritual body. Thus, when one takes up spiritual activities, one's entire material body is spiritualized. Very important line, I will repeat. When one takes up spiritual activities, one's entire material body is spiritualized. Similarly, in this material world, when Krishna consciousness movement expands, the entire material world becomes spiritualized. As long as we do not realize this, we live in the material world. But when we are fully Krishna conscious, we live not in the material world, but in the spiritual world. Wow. Isn't that amazing for good? So, Sri Prahlad Maharaj continues his wonderful prayers. And in the last verse, we talked about Mahavishnu, from who's lying on the Karanadakshay Sagar, and we were talking about his sleep. That his sleep is the yoga nidra is not like the half sleep of ordinary jiva. All his activities are transcendental. And here, from Mahavishnu or the Karanadakshay Vishnu comes the Shirodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who is present in each and every universe. Garbhodaka ocean. The every universe is like a egg shaped, and half of that is full with the transcendental sweat of the Lord, and the Lord is sleeping there. In that's called Garbha Udaka. Shai Udak means water. Shai means in the sleeping state. And then from his navel comes Lord Brahma. So from the Garbhodakshay Vishnu's navel. You know that famous words, Namo Pankajnabhaya, Nama Pankajamalini, Nama Pankajnetraya, Namaste Pankajangriye. So Krishna's beautiful bodily features are often linked to lotus. And that Brahmaji was also seated on that lotus flower. So with just thinking of lotus, we can think of Krishna's creation, the material world, or Brahma, the secondary creation, and also the spiritual world is also like a lotus, where the different petals are like the different gopis, and then the Ratna Singhasan in the middle, Lord Krishna, along with this eternal pleasure potency, Shri Radhika is seated, and the different other sub-petals are like the other manjaris or the associates of gopis. But last few lines of the purport are really very, very special. When one takes to bhakti, Krishna consciousness, one's body is also spiritualized. One is no more living in this material world. That famous verse, Iha yasya haridasya karmana manasagira nikhilashu api avastastu jivan mukta sauchate. That person who has taken fully to Krishna consciousness, that person, even on this world, he is in spiritual world. That's what Prabhupada is saying. So by expanding Krishna consciousness everywhere this world, if everyone takes to Krishna consciousness, if everyone understands that the other people are also my brothers, sisters, and the Supreme Father is Lord Krishna, then there will be no more chaos in the world. Then there will no more be unnecessary killing of animals or even humans. Then everyone will be having the principle of universal brotherhood, keeping Krishna as the center. Then this world will become a spiritual world. Because what is spiritual world? Spiritual world means everyone has congenial relationships and everyone has one focus. Bhaktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. To serve Krishna, to be Krishna conscious, to discuss Krishna Katha with others, that's spiritual world. So if we do that And we see in the temple atmosphere, we feel that we have entered spiritual world. When we're in the company of devotee, we feel that we are in a spiritual environment. So practically, and that should inspire us to first be Krishna conscious, and then as far as possible help others also. So like how Prabhupada brought Lord Jagannath all over the world, and now so many people are taking to this process of Krishna consciousness. So as our duty, as a grandchild, it's our duty to continue his mission and try our best to support in whatever way we can to spread the spiritual environment everywhere. Any other comments or questions anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandat Pranam. Prabhu, what is the verse you just quoted? Ihasya?
Hayasya, that's actually in, I think, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Hayasya Haridasya Karmana Manasa Gira.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
That means one, karma, mana, and gira. When one engages one's body, mind, and activities, his tongue, everything in Krishna's service, that person is Jivan Mukta Sa Uchyate, living but still liberated. That person is no more part of the material world. Jivan Mukta Sa Uchyate, that person is liberated even in this material world, like Srila Prabhupada, like pure devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so today is Friday. Anyone who has not read throughout the week and feeling inspired to read?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, please.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Dandavat everyone. Text 34. Tat sambhavaha kavir atonyat apasyamanas tvam bijam atmani tatam sa bahir vichintya navindad abdasatam apshu nimajjamano jaten kure katham upo uhapala veta vijam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From the great lotus flower, Brahma was generated, but Brahma certainly could see nothing but the lotus. Therefore, thinking you to be outside, Lord Brahma dove into the water and attempted to find the source of the lotus for 100 years. He could find no trace of you. However, for when a seed fructifies, the original seed cannot be seen. Purport: this is the description of the cosmic manifestation. The development of the cosmic manifestation is like the fructification of a seed. When cotton is transformed into thread, the cotton is no longer visible. And when the thread is woven into cloth, the thread is no longer visible. Similarly, it is perfectly correct that when the seed that had generated from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu became manifested as the cosmic creation, one could no longer understand where the cause of the cosmic manifestation is. Modern scientists have tried to explain the origin of creation by a chunk theory, but no one can explain how such a chunk might have burst. The Vedic literature, however, explains clearly that the total material energy was agitated by the three modes of material nature because of the glance of the Supreme Lord. In other words, in terms of the chunk theory, the bursting of the chunk was caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, one must accept the Supreme Cause, Lord Vishnu, as the cause of all causes. So here, the purport, Prabhupada is explaining that the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is the creator and annihilator of this material world, and he is the creator of the seed, and he is the germinator of the seed himself. He is a cause of, that's why he is the cause of all causes. So here in the translation, Lord Brahma, who is created by Lord Vishnu in the lotus flower, he is also searching for the lotus for 100 years, and he says with the star that one day for the demigods equals 6 of our months, which we also read before in Canto 6. And so here also Lord Brahma himself could not be able to explain the creation of the Lord Vishnu. So what I understood, Prabhuji. So please correct me and explain more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So ultimately, modern scientists, they say, oh, the chunk theory or proposal from the Big Bang. In the textbooks, the young children are taught, no, this world is a cause of a Big Bang. But actually, it's not Big Bang, it's actually Big Brain, or the supreme creator, the supreme engineer, the supreme director, the cause of all causes, the master of all masters. Have you ever heard that, oh, there was a big explosion and a wonderful building was created? No. Whenever we hear about explosion or bomb blast, the first thing comes, oh, 10 people died, 50 people injured, one building was completely into ashes. So explosion or bang does not lead to creation, it leads to destruction. So it's not Big Bang. Look at the diversity in the creation. And that's what Prahlad Maharaj said. One should see, one should explore by one's own experience also. Look at the variety of creation around us. There are hundreds and thousands of species of fishes, so intricate. Each and every one has their own peculiarities. Hundreds and lakhs of varieties of land animals, of birds. Can all this come by just a bang? Just an explosion and all these different varieties were created? This is just what we can see. We're not even going in the upper planetary systems or even the lower planetary systems, which we can't see. The dimension of the universe, the size of the distance between sun and earth. Even scientists say if that's a little further or little away, either we'll be melted or too cold. Have you heard, okay, stars colliding with each other and then they fall on the earth and then clash? Never. We have certainly heard cars colliding and leading to destruction, but we don't hear Earth colliding with Mercury or Jupiter coming, clashing Earth. That all this shows the big brain, not the big bang. And there's like a whole 2-hour seminar on this, but it's just like few examples we can, even from a experiential, even like a tiny DNA. It is said, we have all read in our textbooks, that a tiny DNA strand, the ATCG strand, has like information compared to 10,000 books in the library. Can we imagine? Can this come by bang? Certainly not. It has come through big brain, that is Krishna, the cause of all causes. But he does not, personally interfere. Through his different energies, his energies are so there's energy. He's the all energetic, and his energies are also very, very powerful. So Kala Shakti leading to different modes, and then different modes lead to different aspects, different avatars, different species, etc. He's always busy doing his Nitya Leela in Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. Just by his glance, so powerful. If we glance at something, does something happen? Oh, I just glance at a building, I want to create a building. Well, nothing would happen. Which also shows the difference between Anu and Vibhu. Anu means infinitesimal and Vibhu means infinite. Krishna, just by his glance, he created the entire world. And Lord Brahma, the expert secondary creator, hundreds of years of tapasya he did, or tried to attempt who's the source, couldn't find. So, and that 100 years is equivalent to 6 months. 1 day is equivalent to 6 months, so we can imagine how much 100 years. So the point is that creation implies creator. The more complex the creation is, the more intelligent the creator is. Like a simple, let's say anything, a simple cookie. Even a child can make that. It's not that difficult. Like mixing some sugar, mixing some flour, and then making it. But making a jet plane which actually flies, can a child make that? No. That needs more intelligence. Similarly, our the whole creation, it should just help us to appreciate the intelligence, the supreme intelligence. One of the Shad Aishwaryas of the Supreme Lord is the most intelligent. In jet planes also still there are problems, but in Krishna's creation there is no problem. It is us humans who create problem in the Krishna or try to mess up with that, right? And then end up in a situation what we are now. Any other comments or questions anyone has? Any additions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all those Srila Prabhupada, very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just wanted to add a comment and also have a question. Prabhuji, I was actually, in this kids class, one of the kid actually asked in Bhakti Sangha group about, when Mataji was explaining all the planetary systems, lower planetary, and Prabhuji, that one of the student was telling, oh, we learned like, Big Bang. And Mataji gave a very nice example telling that, okay, even there is a Big Bang, there should be cause of Big Bang, right? The Big Bang also should have a cause. It cannot just, and also one more example is Einstein, was traveling. This is a kind of a true story I heard. I'm not sure how true it is, but he was traveling with his friend in a train, and he, I saw a nice, he was discussing about God and all. So Einstein was a firm believer in God. So he was talking about the Big Bang and all. Then, he Einstein, did not reply immediately, but next day he called him, and he saw a very nice masterpiece of a, like a ship, which has 7 stories, something like that. He said, "Oh wow, who made? I know that you made it. So beautiful. How did it? How did you do it?" He said, "Oh, it just happened. Big Bang." So he, then he refuted in same way. Einstein said, if you can't believe a small piece cannot be, Big Bang, how can that be? So Prabhuji, my question, another, it not very related. So we use just about like Saturn, Mercury and all, right? Are these anyway connected to the planetary systems in our flow 14 planetary systems, like upper planetary systems and lower planetary systems, or these are all still come under earthly planetary system?
They are, I have to go back and refer to that whole discussion. But yes, they are mentioned in Canto 5 of Srimad Bhagvatam actually. They are in the, I think the Bhu, Bhuvar, and Swar. Amongst these 3 layers, they are, again, I can go back and check which exactly layer they fall into. But
Okay.
yes, they
Prabhu,
are mentioned.
Hare Krishna Dandavat. I
Yes,
think they
ma'am.
are mentioned in Swaraman, the upper planetary systems, and it also talks about in Shishumara planetary system. It talks about them going around the Earth like in this circular fashion. So they sometimes are close to Earth, sometimes they are farther away from the Earth. And actually, Saturn and Mercury are definitely mentioned. Pluto and Uranus are not mentioned.
Okay, thanks. So they all come under Earth planetary systems.
I think
Okay.
the upper. No, it's above Moon. Definitely above Moon.
Okay, so above Earth there are like 7 planets, right, Mataji? So Six. So they come under those.
That's planetary system, Prabhu. Entire planetary
Correct.
system, not just planets.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what my question is. So these come under Earth planetary systems, right? Then.
Above moon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, out of 14 planetary systems, all these Mercury, Venus, whatever, comes under the purview of Earth planetary system.
Okay, yeah, that way, yeah. Yes, Prabhu. But
Okay,
they're
thank
above
you.
Bhumandala. That's what I was trying
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
And the exact distances are given 110,000 yojanas and 130,000 yojanas and like that above Earth.
Thank
To
you.
you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Prabhupada is mentioning in the second last line, the bursting of the chunk was caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Sudhir Prabhu was mentioning. Who caused that bang? Who, even an explosion needs energy. From where did that original energy come? That's Krishna. Anyone else has any other comments or questions? Okay. Anyone who has not read for this week and feeling inspired to read? Ms. Nandini Mataji, you can read.
Sorry, Prabhu, I'm just getting used to this system, Zoom system. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam devotees. Text 35. Satvamatma yonir tibit mismet ashito abjam kalena tivratapasa parishuddha bhava tvamatma nishabhuvi gandha mivati sukshmam bhutendriyashayamaye vitatam dadarsha. Devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma, who is celebrated as Atma Yoni, having been born without a mother, was struck with wonder. Thus he took shelter of the lotus flower. When he had been purified, going severe austerities for many hundreds of years, he could see that the cause of all causes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was spread throughout his own body and senses, just as aroma, although very subtle, is perceived in the earth. Purport. Here the statement of self-realization, Aham Brahmasmi, which is interpreted by the Mayavada philosophy to mean I am the Supreme Lord, is explained. The Supreme Lord is the original seed of everything. Janmadi asya yataha. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Thus, the Supreme Lord extends everywhere, even throughout our bodies, because our bodies are made of material energy, which is the Lord's separated energy. One should realize that since the Supreme Lord spreads throughout one's body, and since the individual soul is a part of the Supreme Lord, everything is Brahman. Sarvam khalva idam Brahma. This realization was achieved by Lord Brahma after he was purified, and it is possible for everyone. When one is completely in knowledge of Aham Brahmasmi, he thinks, I am part of the Supreme Lord. My body is made of his material energy, and therefore I have no separate existence. Yet, although the Supreme Lord is spread everywhere, he is different from me. This is the philosophy of Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva. An example given in this regard is that of the aroma within the earth. In the earth, there are aromas and colors, but one cannot see them. Actually, we find that when flowers grow from the earth, they appear with different colors and aromas, which they have certainly gathered from the earth, although in the earth we cannot see them. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, spreads throughout one's body and soul, although we cannot see them. An intelligent man, however, can see the Supreme Lord existing everywhere. Andantara stha paramanu chayantara stham. The Lord is within the universe and within the atom by his different energies. This is the real vision of the Supreme Lord for the intelligent man. Brahma, the first created being, became the most intelligent person by his tapasya, austerity. Thus he came to this realization. We must therefore take all knowledge from Brahma, who became perfect by his tapasya. So tapodivyam, tapasya means austerities, and austerities are most important. And the contrast here is that Hiranyakashipu did so many austerities to become the supreme ruler, and within a second he has been crushed. And here is an example of Lord Brahma, that he did hundreds of years of tapasya to find out who is Vishnu. Who am I? What is the source of mine? Aham Brahmasmi. And then he realized that I am a part and parcel of Supreme Lord. Here it says the Supreme Lord is the original seed of everything. And he said that, it is said that because our bodies are made of material energy, which is the Lord separated energy, we realize that Supreme Lord spreads throughout one's body. So he's omnipotent. So how is Lord omnipresent? So how is Lord omnipresent is described here. He's spread throughout one's body. And since the individual source is part of the Supreme Lord, everything is Brahman. But this is not the Mayavadi philosophy that I am God. It's saying I'm part and parcel of the God. And then Prabhupada explains Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. I'm one, but I'm different. I'm this. Our qualities come from the Lord, but our quantity is very minuscule. And Lord is the master, and we are the servant. But we are both eternal. We are both Jivara Nityarupa, Krishnara Nityadasa. Jivera Sarupa, Krishnara Nityadasa. So we are the servant. And then it goes on saying that the aroma of this earth. This is such a beautiful example. Actually, before coming to Krishna consciousness, the only fragrance I knew was perfumes. And of course, that was if you said aroma, it would come to mind. And then I found out that it was the perfumes were created because people were lazy to take showers. And it was like, oh my God, I never want to use perfumes. So, but Prabhupada gives the original perfumes, the fragrance of the earth, which is so beautiful. And we even forget, but in Vedic, once we go back to Vedic sciences, we connect, we can actually grow flowers, smell the flowers, offer them to Krishna, and the different colors and aromas stand out. And we can relate to them. We can remember them. And Prabhupada is so beautifully describing how Supreme Lord by his energies spreads throughout one body and soul, like the aroma of the earth. And it is such a beautiful fragrance that makes us happy, makes us think of Krishna. And then it talks about andantara stha paramanu chayanantara stham. The Lord is so Lord is in every atom. So where does the energy of the atom bomb come from? It comes because Lord is present in each and every, my minutest particle to the biggest particle. And right now we see this one virus causing the chaos. So how is it that possible? Because Krishna can make anything possible. His energy is so he can put so much energy into such a small seed that the inconceivable becomes possible. And then it talks about the main purpose of life is tapasya, is the austerity. Back to you, Prabhu. Please correct if I said something wrong. Hare Krishna, Dandavats.
you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Tapasya is very, very important, as Mataji emphasized. So first Brahmaji was trying to figure out on his own by going in the stem of that lotus. And then he heard the word tapa. It comes in Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagvatam actually. He heard the word tapa. And then he started to perform tapasya. And then he got the Divya Gyan, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavi. So he got that divine knowledge with which he used to create, to do further creation. Sarga and then Visarga. It's a very important point Prabhupada is mentioning. An intelligent man can see the Lord everywhere. Intelligent man means a devotee of the Lord. One who has been trained to see. The training, Prabhupada emphasizes it multiple times. Even Prahlad Maharaj was speaking in, I think, when he was talking to his friends, the example, the analogy was given like a geologist. A geologist can figure out where is gold by studying the properties of that soil and some chemical composition and things like that. One can say, oh, there is the gold. And that's how they do the modern days. Where is oil? Where is water? Where is gold? Where is iron? They use the geologists are trained. Similarly, an intelligent devotee, one who is trained like that, training means process of bhakti, that person can see Krishna everywhere. Anything, he tries to link it to Krishna. And that's the difference between a spiritual consciousness and material consciousness. Material consciousness, if one sees something Krishna conscious or even goes to the temple, one links it to one's material life. Oh, this reminds me of my child. Oh, this reminds me of my mother. Oh, this reminds me of my job. Oh, this reminds me of my car. But a devotee sees even something material and thinks, oh, maybe I can use that for the temple here. Maybe I can get these flowers for my deities. Maybe I can get these fruits for my deities. So the whole process of bhakti is to become intelligent. Intelligent means becoming more and more Krishna conscious. Learning that art, learning that process of devotion so that we can become trained under the guidance of Guru Sadhu Shastra and try to see Krishna everywhere and try to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's the goal of life. And that way we'll be happy. Any other comments, questions? Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Dandavat everybody. This is Bhadra. Brahma was he was up on the lotus and he went down to find the source of it, isn't it? And he tried and tried and tried. He couldn't do it. So he came up and he heard the word tapa. And he performed tapasya and he was able to find the source and he was able to see the Lord, right? Now we will hear in the text 36, which is tomorrow, I guess. So the point here is that the people are also performing sometimes so many tapasyas for gain to do something. Even in the spiritual life, people are performing tapasya. But if that tapasya is not authorized, then that is not going to help you in your spiritual life. In Brahma's case, Biswa Tap came from the sound, came from the higher, from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he followed that. So similarly, in our spiritual life also, if we try to perform tapasya which is not according to the authorized sources, then it's okay. But the point is that you will go through that tapasya unnecessarily, so much tapasya. For us, the tapasya is the very simple tapasya following four regular chanting, following four regular principle, chanting 16 rounds, and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, and do some service. You see. So this is the authorized tapasya we have. We are in the Kali Yuga. This is the simple tapasya we have. Chant Hare Krishna, and if we go on doing that, then Srila Prabhupada is saying that we will also see the Krishna face to face by the mercy of Krishna, or Prabhupada will, by the mercy of Prabhupada, I'm sorry. Because Prabhupada will introduce, our Guru Maharaj Prabhupada will introduce to, and we will be able to see that. So that's another point here in this shloka, kind of to understand that following the authorized pathway in the disciplic succession, perform our tapasya and go on in our devotional service. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Any other comments or questions before we stop for today? Okay, so as I have already communicated, the weekends and holidays, we'll be having wonderful devotees sharing Krishna Katha. So tomorrow, His Grace Bhadra Prabhu will be sharing on text 36, and then day after on Sunday, His Grace Pran Govind Prabhu will be sharing on text 37, and like that we will continue for all the weekends. So thank you everyone, and thank you Brother Prabhu for accepting our proposal. So we are very, very eager. Tomorrow morning we'll continue at 9 a.m. as per our regular program.
With all of your blessings.
Stop here for today and continue tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you. Thank you so much.
9 a.m., right?
Correct, Roji, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Kantraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Ancha kalpatarupincha kripa sindhubhyo vichakti dhanam bhavanabhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.